You're listening to the Pants Off Podcast with Clark Bartram and Jeremy Jackson.
CBT's Performance Apparel, where fashion meets performance. Upload your custom design or grab the CBT's Deal of the Week at clarkstees.com. The podcast with CB and JJ is sponsored by Providence Video Productions in Escondido, California, providers of full creative video and audio production services. Utilizing state-of-the-art professional equipment for all your broadcast needs. Webpage, embedded or live streaming videos and podcasts. Aerial drone videography. Music videos, 3D animation, studio and field production. Contact us at providencevid.com.
Wow. What is going on? We are live, boy. Let's do it. That's your sign in, huh? You like that little cat noise? What's going on, everyone? CB and JJ here for the Pants Off podcast, and he's already got his pants off. You went premature with the pants off today. You're supposed to wait till we go live.
No stranger to prematurity.
Prematurity. Yeah, so what is going on, people?
Guy?
Where you been, brother? How's this week going? You can cut that music down, Jim. Thank you.
I was rocking out, dude.
You were.
Week's going good, man. How about you?
Good,
Tell me
man.
about your week.
I feel like my hands got bigger though from the last time we were here. I don't know what's going on.
I'm gonna hold your finger the whole interview. Tell me about your week, Clark.
Got a lot going on. I have a business partner here in town. We got Matt here is in studio, and he's kind of watching the Pants Off podcast, and you know, we're doing some work today. Got a lot of stuff planned for the future, brother. Though seriously, we're going to be launching something in the health and fitness industry that we hope will really affect a lot of people in a positive way. You know, for me, it's not about the money and all that. It's really about affecting people in a positive way, and that's what this podcast is all about. It's about us just. You know, people still ask me, what's this podcast about? What do you guys do? You know, and the reality is we're just being ourselves, man, and we're trying to create an opportunity where people are going to be inspired and maybe learn a few things along the way and just, you know, get entertained, right?
I'm entertained.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what's going on with me. What's going on with you?
You know, I had a good week, man. I got my MRI. Planned for a little later today. Finally going to get my knee checked out, see what's going on, see if we can address it, see if we can reach out to some stem cell doctors and do a live podcast from their office while we both get stem cells.
So were you thinking about that before I brought it up to you? Or?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, need to do it. Want to do it.
Okay, because I have the doctor.
You
He's
do?
down in TJ. Yeah.
Boom!
Yeah, you got to go to TJ.
I love it. I got my passport card ready in my wallet as we speak.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to my friend who had it done. I have a message from him here. He had like 48 million injected, and they say it takes 3-4 days before it gets started. But I was watching Joe Rogan's podcast with a few different guests that he had on there talking about, you know, the whole stem cell controversy, whether or not that is some effective form of helping, you know, you recover in your knee as opposed to going and getting an entirely new knee.
Right. Well, from the research I've done, people I've talked to, you know, I got friends that broker stem cells out in Vegas and different labs, and the way you treat them and the temperature they're kept at, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But the general consensus from what I'm getting, even from old school orthopedic surgeons who didn't believe in it at all, and now are looking into it, saying, hey, maybe there's some with the PRP, you know, your own blood, you're going to get about 8 months or a little less of some rejuvenation. It's going to be a little stronger and feel a little better and less clicking, popping, and instability. But with the stem cells, you get about 18. So it doesn't fix it forever, but you got about 18 months where your knee, your joint or whatever is going to be in a more of a healing state than in a degenerating state.
So will it continue to heal on its own once those stem cells go away?
Probably got to do it again.
That's a big expense, man, because my buddy spent, what'd I tell you, 16 grand on 48 million stem cells, which if they only last, let's say 2 years, 16 grand every 2 years. Yeah. You know, what's a better proposition? Because I hear a lot of people that get knee replacements actually like the new knee better than they do the original knee.
Right.
I mean, there's a whole lot of
Yeah, I mean, I guess
improvements
it
that have been made
depends
over
on
the years.
your mentality and your thought process. If you're just kind of more of a natural person, if you're real scared of going under or something, that might be worth it to somebody. Like, I don't want to go under anesthesia. I don't want to be completely asleep. I don't want to get opened up. Some people are really freaked out if they got the money to do that. But I think, they're coming into where they're going to start taking insurance for this. They're going to start doing some stuff in the next few years where people can actually go in and get this.
That's a brutal surgery, dude. The knee replacement. You ever seen that done? There's nothing finesse about that at all. They take an actual
bang, crack, snap, yank.
Yeah, a chisel and a hammer and just cut the freaking. It's insane, man. But
and then there's cadaver tendon that might not take. There's your own hamstring. It's a much longer recovery if they use your own hamstring to put in some new ligaments and tendons. So there's some areas there of questionability just in the surgery also. But the stem cells intravenous is the really crazy thing. Talking about rebuilding neurological damage and mitochondria and some pretty crazy stuff.
You think about all this stuff, right? All of the advancements that have been made over the years. There's got to be the first dude that goes in and says, "Okay, I'll do it. Go ahead and inject stem cells into my veins and let me see what happens."
I'll be that guy. I've been that guy for a lot of other weird stuff.
On your own testing of things, I'm sure. But I mean, you could grow another freaking mouth out of the side of your neck or something. You know what I'm saying? You're injecting some.
Think about the ratings of our podcast if I grew another mouth out of my neck.
Just like my hands got giant, though.
Hey, I just got to address the elephant in the room. Clark doesn't have his pants off.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Let me take care of that right now. Look, I just have.
So I was thinking about something, and, it's really my mom's suggestion, but how do you feel about cracking off the podcast with a prayer?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Pants Off Prayer Podcast in effect. Go, JJ.
Papa, I know we're just two dudes with our pants off, shooting a prayer out, but we don't just have our pants off. We got our hearts open. We got our minds open. And we're coming together under your name, the master of the universe, the master architect, and best lover, best friend, best shepherd I've ever had. And we want to say a prayer for all our listeners out there, that you would do something radical in their lives. Clark and I both know that you are so much bigger than we could ever wrap our minds around. And I think the ultimate blessing for us today would be to be used by you to speak life, healing, miracles, motivation, inspiration into the lives of others. So we just want to shoot it out to all our listeners right now that you would do something miraculous, spectacular, radical in the lives of the people that are listening right now, that we would have a stronger army to do the good work. Amen.
Amen. Right on. Good suggestion, Mama. We appreciate
thanks, Mom.
that, man. Look, because none of this is about me. None of this is about Jeremy. It really is about reaching out to people. We got people coming on live right now who actually really enjoy listening to what it is that we have to say, even if we don't have a format, even if we don't, because there's always something along the way that's being said that will encourage somebody, and along the lines of what we were talking about with this whole stem cell thing and all that. I remember my dad always used to say, getting old ain't for sissies, right? Mm-hmm. How old are you now? 38?
37. Coming up on 38.
How do you feel at 37 years old? Physically, emotionally, and all that sort of stuff.
It's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. There's a lot of great, better things. Wisdom and learning really how hard I can push myself or should push myself, or when to rest, when to go for it, when to keep my mouth shut, when to open my mouth. You got the knee injuries, kind of stinky, but I'm winning jiu-jitsu tournaments easier than I did when I was younger, when I was like, I'm going to be the champion. I just, showing up and being like, I'm going to meditate and I'm just going to go in there and have fun. And, so like you learn stuff, but then, a little more achy, painy and injuries and stuff, but
that's
they
the
kind of
trade-off.
balance each other out.
Yeah, that's the trade-off.
A couple gray hairs, but
I got a whole face full of them in my hair. Dude, look at my
Silver
hair.
Fox,
It's starting
man.
to get gray.
Silver Fox.
I think I'm going to look good with gray hair.
I think you should grow the beard out, the gray beard, man. What was that movie you did when you had that beard? You were looking handsome.
Hunter Prey. Yeah. I did look kind of good. Yeah.
Hunter Prey?
Yeah, Hunter Prey.
Man.
You can go online and check it out. I mean, I think
Clark
they
Bartram.
have it streaming on YouTube somewhere. You could, not streaming, but you can just watch it on YouTube. It's a pretty fun movie. But Yeah, the trade-off between a little aches and pains and the amount of wisdom that you gain as you get older, I think is worth it. But, you know, the beauty of the day and age that we live in and what we were just talking about with stem cells and all that sort of stuff is we have technology now that we didn't know about in the past. It was there, but we just weren't aware of it, that we can apply to our lives to get more out of our body, and then coupling it with the wisdom that we've gained over the years. Imagine that, man. You're so much more smart about how to approach things in life, and you're not as anxious to get things done, and you're more confident in your abilities to say no to people, you know, in business, and not get yourself caught up in situations. So many people fight the aging process, but to me, it's a beautiful thing, man. It really is. If you take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. That's what you do. We live to bring people information that will help them go through this process of getting older every single day with new information, and I think more than anything else, a belief in people, right?
Absolutely.
We all need coaches. We all need people to look to. And I don't think enough people really understand the value of investing. I've spent a lot of money on coaches, man. Business coaches, 15 grand at a time, you know, motivational seminars and all sorts of stuff. I've invested a lot of money back into myself.
I bet you don't regret any of them.
Not at all, because I didn't go to
me
college.
neither.
I mean, what's a regular college degree cost? 20 grand a year, 25 grand a year, more than that? So let's say you're 150 grand in. Imagine taking $150,000 and instead of your college degree, picking and choosing different areas of your life that you wanted to reinvest into yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the coach I want for health and fitness, and I'm going to invest into that person because I've researched them, I've watched them, I connect with them, and boom, they're worth it.
For some reason, when you were telling me that story, I was just like picturing like your home renovation or you know, like building a website. It's like, okay, when you build a website, you pick other websites that you like this piece of that website and how they do their e-cart on this website, and you like this color and you like this these shapes, right? And then you like build your website. You're like, redoing your kitchen. You have a swatch, this color, you like this grain of wood. So you can just literally, and it really, really works, look out there and be like, that guy's living the kind of, I want 25% of that guy's life. I want 25% of that guy's life. And I love how that person handles themselves, and you can literally go to these people and absorb that and become your own version of with their, you know, extras.
Yeah.
Hello.
Make your life a classroom. Look, we didn't plan any of
Paint the
this.
picture.
We never plan anything that we're going to talk about, but for whatever reason, we're on this path right now. You know, my son stopped going to college because he was tired of being told what classes he needed to go to and who he needed to listen to, and they were giving him just the same old repetitive stuff over and over again. And there was a speech class that he was in, and he did his speech on why he didn't want to do a speech, why he thought it was useless. You know, mom's on the phone. She's
Mom saw me. Should we put mom on?
Yeah, put mommy on the line. She got the prayer going. But the point is, look, guys, if you're out there and you're stuck in life and you're not going where you want to go, it might be worth reinvesting some of your money back into yourself in areas that you know you're lacking in. So if, for example, you need some spiritual growth, you can go off and find a spiritual guru. I mean, you can go to church, obviously, for free. It doesn't cost you anything. But the point is, if you really want to dig down and dig deep and prove to yourself that you are worth whatever it takes, shit, man, go out and, there we go. I got to click that box. That
was the second time you said the SHIT word.
Today?
Clark. Yeah.
Oh,
you said it earlier
all right.
when
Okay,
I reminded you that you still had your pants on.
Oh, okay. So you're keeping track just like iTunes does. You know what I mean, man? I just don't think enough people are really investing into themselves the way they should, because maybe they don't understand the return on the investment.
Yeah, and just, you know, then you get into a lot of different conspiracy theory type stuff. I mean, we're being dumbed down with the food and with the...
Oh, boy, that's a whole podcast.
Yeah, so, you know, you never questioned it. Maybe you just never thought to question it. You know, that is a whole...
Well, let's question it right now.
Let's question it.
Let's question some stuff.
I'm glad this is coming up, because I think we should spend the next month on bringing in our mentors, showing people the type of people we brought into our lives to help us become who we are today. Like next week, we got Dave Sandoval, author of the Green Food Bible, owner of Purium Health Products, owner of Pure Planet Products. He has an Oasis retreat up in Kern County where he takes people and shows them. And I mean, you know,
That's dope.
The past 10 years, let's do it. We can do a podcast from there. We can go stay there and take a whole crew of people with us. You know, the past 10, 12 years of my life, Clark just farted, by the way, and he leaned into it, which is great. The past 10 years of my life or more, 15, you know, I stopped using fluoride toothpaste and drinking green juice and stuff like 17 years ago. And because of the counsel that this guy gave me, which I'm really excited to bring him on, and he's got a new CBD product, and he's got a biome repair product that blocks 75% of the Roundup that's in our atmosphere, in our parks, in our food, all the pesticides that's killing the organisms in our stomach, that's creating the leaky gut, that's making us hungry even though we're full, and all that stuff. He's got some amazing, mind-blowing products.
Leaky Gut. That'd be a good name for a band.
You know what?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Leaky Gut.
Leaky Gut and the odoriferous ones. What about that?
Speaking of that, real quick, to get back
what about
off.
Odoriferous as a name of a band?
That's a good name. You see the Kiss guy? Matt just showed me the Kiss guy today.
No,
Jim, did you see the Kiss guy?
Yes.
That's pretty sick, wasn't it?
What was the Kiss guy?
He was at a Foo Fighters. At a Foo Fighters concert, and he was sitting up front. He was dressed like someone in Kiss, and he had a sign that said, "Dude, let me play this song." And the lead singer brought him up and was questioning, "Dude, can you play or not? Because you're gonna look like an idiot if you don't." And this kid went up there and just shredded people's faces. Just shredded.
Just a guy in the crowd that they
let
him come up.
A guy in the crowd in the front row came up, and he was a bona fide rock and roll star. Matter of fact, what's the lead singer's name, Jim? Of Foo Fighters? Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl got on his knees and was doing the whole praise you, I praise you.
Anything is possible, guys. I like it.
It is, and you just got to have the balls to step up and stick out in the crowd. That's a perfect example of somebody who stuck out in the crowd. The guy put on Kiss makeup. He had the hair. He had the sign like, "Listen, I want to play this song." And, good for Dave Grohl for giving somebody an opportunity to actually showcase their talent. And I cannot imagine.
We got
this
video
kid,
of this? I'd love to plug it in.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it, man. That'd be cool.
It's an 8-minute song, but we'll play a couple seconds of it. Jim will pull it up here in a minute. But, dude, it's dope. Get the one that has the most views on it, Jim. I think it's got like 7 million views on it right now.
Also, my friend Lil Smashley, she's taking charge of her life right now. She just got on some really healthy diet. She doesn't have a huge budget. She's got kids. She's got a family. And she's been keeping me abreast of her.
Smash it, Smashley. You just keep doing what you do, girl.
She's doing the darn thing.
We love that, man. Yeah. But after we watch this Kiss guy, we are going to talk about conspiracy theories here.
Oh, my gosh, really?
Yeah, we're going to get into some of that. Man. Yeah, we're going to get into one of those.
And we're going to bring in our mentors.
You're listening to the Pants Off.
So here we go.
A month of health and wellness.
They're getting this kid up on stage.
Think big, be bold, take chances, take risks, put yourself on the chopping block.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've had to sit here staring at this motherfucker all night long. Come here, Kiss guy.
Can we bring this guy on the podcast?
What's your name, Kiss guy? Fuck it, I don't even want to know. Your name is Kiss guy right now. You ever done this before? It's really fun. He brought his own fucking pit. These motherfuckers. Oh shit!
So he just.
Holy shit!
He doesn't even care about the crowd. He's just like, look at all these rock stars out there. Dreams coming true.
You better give me a hug, Kiss Guy Alcatraz over here. Tell me a real fucking name, Kiss Guy.
People take chances in life, man. You know, I was listening to Gary Vee yesterday on Instagram, and it's amazing what 30 seconds of inspiration can do in your life. Gary Vee, someone got up and asked him a question, and he said, hey, you know, what's the best advice you could give me? And Gary Vee just simply said, you know what? Don't be afraid to fail, right? That guy got dressed, he came there, and there was a good chance that he would have been standing there all night with a sign, but he wasn't afraid to take that chance, and he was rewarded for that boldness. So we learn from failure and we learn from success as well.
Failure breeds success, man.
Yeah, but you'll never learn anything if you don't try.
Right. It's the predecessor to success. If you don't fail a few times, you don't, every time you fail, you're that much closer to a win.
Yeah, you know, every no is a step closer to a yes.
Exactly.
So it's just, I believe the world is full of people who are afraid, intimidated, embarrassed, too shy, unwilling to step out of their comfort zone, even though on some level on the inside, I think we all have a desire to. And it's that comfort zone that makes people really never experience life to the degree in which they could had they just tried once.
Right.
You know,
we all have our thing, right? Our certain stuff. Like some people, it's getting up in front of an audience. Like for me, that's not a problem. But like for me, it's like a classroom. Like, oh, I would get so, nervous. Like I can't do that. Like, we all have self-doubt and just self-limiting thoughts and certain stuff that we're hung up on that we think we can't do or we're not ready for. But that's just all a lie.
Dude, I was the shyest person you ever met. I was paralyzed by shyness as a kid.
Yeah.
I remember the first time someone asked me to speak in front of a group, I ran out of the room.
Really?
I left. I hid. I was on the power team. And they just wanted
lifting?
No, that Christian group that goes around and blows hot water bottles and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
When I was on the power team, the main guy, John Jacobs, said, Clark, I want you to do the T-shirt announcement tonight. So he told me everything and instantly fear just overcame me to the point where I'm like, how do I get out of this? And I ran out of the room and I made up some lie that I had to call my mom. You know what I mean?
Some kind of Christian he is lying out there.
I lied, man, because I could not do it. I was so worried. And then, just little by little, you start doing these things even in the face of fear, and you start owning up, like getting on video. I mean, it used to be hard for me. And all of what I do, I could have never done if I never gave it a shot, if I never tried. And now I'm pretty good at what I do.
And you've also put the work in. You've also studied others that do it. You've also, you put a lot of hours into it. But the cool thing is, nowadays, you don't have to put a lot of hours in. You don't have to put as much work in. You can just grab onto the people that have and get the expedited
Well, that's
system.
what we're talking about coaching.
Yeah. It's an amazing day and age where you can have access to people who have done exactly what you want to do in a fantastic way and learn from them in an expedited way.
Remember at FMI when I was doing the on-camera coaching, teaching people? Remember, were you there when Frank Jones just completely melted down?
Oh, yeah.
And hid behind the pillar?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, being in front of a camera is probably the most intimidating thing for people. And it's really interesting to me because the camera is nothing, right? There's nothing there. Being in front of a group of people, I get that, right? Because you can see people laughing at you, falling asleep, getting up and walking out, bumping each other like, what's this idiot talking about?
Right.
But a camera is nothing. But people freak the hell out.
It's like getting intimidated by a remote control.
It's the same thing.
It's just a piece of electronics, right?
Yeah, or anything. It can't do anything, and you can erase it. The world doesn't need to see it. But for whatever reason, when that thing hits red, boom, all bets are off, and people just freaking lose their mind.
Clam up, get shut down. It's because they stop living. They stop actually hearing, smelling, seeing. They stop listening and noticing. All they can hear is their own voice in their head, and they just shut down. And if you're not in the moment, you're inauthentic, and you are just a raw nerve. In order to really just create living energy and exist, you just have to be in the moment. You know, some people do it better than others.
Right.
In life or in front of a camera, you know, that's, you know, those are the most magic people. When you meet someone, you're like, this guy, like, is just totally
just doing his
open
thing, man.
and in the zone is a pretty powerful thing.
And a good way to get in the moment, guys. We did it last week. We're going to do it again. It's probably going to be a theme for the show. We got to do the 5 breaths.
I'm down with 5 breaths.
Everyone in the room, everyone's got to join in. We got to take 5 deep breaths together. So we got Matt sitting here is going to join in. We got Jim from Providence Video Productions is going to do it. Ready? Here we go.
Hey. The second one just hits you. So I don't want to stop.
You know what's really interesting about that process is you get so sidetracked by thinking you need to be doing something else, thinking what somebody else going to think, thinking why, you know, I mean, there's so much that gets in the way, but like you said, the second one kind of gets you there. The third one, you're into. Fourth one and fifth one, we could do an entire hour just breathing alone. Yeah. And that would be the best podcast to ever hit the airwaves in the entire planet. If we just breathed consciously for an hour and played some nice music and had people slow the F down, not worry about what anybody else was thinking. Because, listen, I do the same thing. I'm going, oh, my God, are people going to freak out? Right. Are people not going to be into this?
We better say something interesting. Yeah. We better find a cool topic. We came in here with we better find a good, something cool to tell people so that they like us and they don't hate us, and we'll watch our podcast and we get followers, and then maybe we'll get a sponsor and then we'll lose money and then we'll be successful.
So let's do 5 more. Just for that, we're going to do 5 more. We're adding 5 more on top. I want Jim to add some music to this one this time. We're up it up a notch. Up it up a notch. There we go. Here we go. Oh, yeah.
Breathing out there with us. Getting on the same wavelength.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that ended at the perfect timing.
Wasn't that cool?
You can go ahead and shut that. You know what I noticed, though?
No accident. What?
I think my lungs are bigger than yours.
Oh, man.
I had like a third more breath than you did. I was listening to your breath and mine, and my lungs are bigger than yours.
I wore the training mask. Did you see?
Yeah, I did.
At the race?
Yeah.
I really only wore it because I wanted an excuse for when I didn't beat everybody. I was like, yeah, well, I had the mask on. I was just, you know.
That thing's brutal, man. I'm going to have them on here as, you know, a guest.
Look,
we'll probably
I took
just
one of the flappers out and replaced it with the really small hole thing. Because I put it on the way to the race. I was driving with like the 3000 and I was having a panic attack driving in my car. I'm like, there's no way I'm running for 30 minutes with this thing on.
They came out with a new one. It's the 2.0 and it has dials on the side, and I have to shoot some video for it. It's pretty amazing, the technology. So that right there, I mean, breathing is such an important thing, and those guys just get ridiculed constantly by the idiots out there in the let me take that back. That's wrong for me to
How dare you
put judgment on people. The people who don't truly understand what it is, then they want to make judgments against it and talk trash. That's the most frustrating thing for me. Like, I feel the same way about our podcast. I get so much. I don't know if people say anything to you, but people are every week, man. The people are like, I can't believe you're doing. So I went for a sponsor, and the number one question they had was, do you guys really take your pants off? And I'm like, time out. That is so. First of all, did you even listen to the podcast and hear the content in it?
How's it going back in 1986?
Even in 86, people were walking around in Speedos somewhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's so frustrating for me that people are so closed-minded and so unable to allow their mind to not be conforming to the, structure that they've been stuck in for so long. I mean, really? Is this the type of thing? I have Christian people sending me messages saying, "Oh, I can't believe you call yourself a Christian." Yeah, we prayed with our pants off and the Pants Off podcast.
Now what?
Now what?
And you know what? We probably lost some viewers from
Thank
praying.
you.
So we can't please everybody.
Yeah.
So you know what? We're just going to be righteous dudes.
Yeah, spiritual
No matter
gangsters.
what.
Spiritual gangsters.
Yeah. And if you don't agree, I'll beat you up. No, I'm just kidding.
Because he knows jiu-jitsu. He'll rear naked choke you with his pants off.
Oh, my gosh.
But you know what, people? Just relax. Man, take time, breathe,
5 breaths,
chill,
man.
take 5 breaths. So that is our homework for you. This week, we want you to stop. I have a program right now that I'm launching with Matt. It's called One Step Body.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
And the whole concept behind One Step Body is I want to give people one step at a time to make change in their life easy and sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's not easy, most people aren't going to do it, unfortunately. And if it's not sustainable, what good is it?
Right.
So we came up with this concept of One Step Body to help people in areas of their life where I know they're struggling as a very experienced fitness guy. And one of the areas they struggle is nutrition.
Of course.
So if I could give you one step at a time to help you move in the right direction, would that be something that was interesting to
It
you?
seems palatable. It seems achievable. It's one step. I'm willing to start with one step.
Right. So there you go. So if exercise, something that has caused you anxiousness.
But not exercise. Anything but exercise.
I'll do anything to get in shape, but eat right and exercise. So, one step. It's like, hey, I just want you to walk today. Just walk. Nothing more. No complicated, this is a 12-week program. And then the big disconnect with most people have is what we just did. Some type of spiritual practice or mental focus or something outside the realm of the physical part of it that is really honestly the biggest part of the equation, if you ask me.
Right.
And that's where I really excel is coaching people. And that's what One Step Body is about. It's about coaching people and letting people know that, hey, I believe in you.
Right.
I'm going to help you believe in yourself. I'm going to show you
Even if you don't,
one
I'm
step at
gonna
a
believe in
time.
you.
Yeah, I'm always going to believe in you.
Right.
And I see evidence of that every day in my life in different things that I do.
Right.
And that's what One Step Body is all about. So you guys join my
Support is
Facebook
huge,
group.
yeah.
It's out there right now.
One
It's just called
Step
One Step Body. Yeah. And
Support is huge. Clark's here to help you, show you the way.
Well, you are, dude. You're a recovery specialist, man.
I mean, it reminds me. The One Step Body reminds me. Many years ago, I used to smoke. Cigarettes. If anyone out there smokes cigarettes, I went to an addiction specialist, and he said the only way that you will ever truly be successful in quitting smoking is if you slowly take out one time. He said, what's your favorite? I don't know, right after a meal. He said, okay, for the next month, just don't smoke right after the meal. I don't care if you smoke right when you wake up. I don't care if you smoke in your car. I don't care if you smoke a pack before you go to bed. Just don't smoke for an hour after you eat. And then a month later, now what's your second favorite time to smoke? He's like, right when I wake up. Okay, just wait one step at a time. And then, after a month, you don't even realize how much you thought you loved it or needed it. And then, eventually you're smoking very little a day and you've taken out your most favorite times and it's nothing drastic or horrible and it's so much easier to separate, So that's what the one step kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this was a world-renowned addiction specialist. People are addicted to food. People are addicted to comfort, man. We want to encourage people to get uncomfortable, but one step at a time.
That's it.
I don't want to throw them to the wolves.
Yeah. I need you to be a part of this, man. We're going to get you tied into that, and I want you to be a contributor to it because there's a lot of value that you bring. And listen, people, I don't think that I'm the end-all, be-all, or I know it all. That's what I want to do in life. I am. Well, I mean, that's another topic altogether. But I want to surround myself with people that are going to add value to my life. And that's a step that you can take right now. I was on Instagram yesterday, and when you follow somebody, it'll suggest other followers. And I started thinking about, okay, the next person you follow, look at all of the suggested followers. Are they success coaches? Are they positive people?
Right.
Are they Instagram ass models? What are you following? What is that
What
that's
army are
being
you
poured
building?
into your life?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So that's why, Jeremy and I are doing this podcast, because we knew that we wanted to be around each other more consistently
very
in our
true.
underwear.
And pretty selfish, really, reasons we started this podcast. It might help some people, but it was kind of pretty selfish.
We have fun doing it. And look, nothing's worth doing if you're not having fun. And that's, the whole One Step Body thing is going to be just fun and entertainment. And I bring in guys like Jeremy. I promise you it's going to be fun. Cool. But you didn't like smoking when you were drinking, and that's most people's time when they like smoking.
Oh, I guess. Yeah.
Because I always hear that. I only smoke when I drink. I'm like, well, then stop drinking. You'll stop smoking.
I started smoking was the first thing I did,
Yeah.
because it was easy, more accessible. I'd see teenagers smoking. I'm like, they're all huddled together, all cool over there. And I'm like, by myself, little kid, I'm going to smoke cigarettes too. That's cool.
Was that ever an episode on Baywatch where
I don't think they
Mitch
ever did a
Buchanan caught you
smoking
smoking under the bridge or
I
something?
don't think they did a smoking one.
Did he ever catch you masturbating in your room or anything like that?
He helped me out a couple times. No, I don't think they ever got that deep.
Those would be good episodes for Baywatch. Hobie gets caught masturbating, under the bridge.
We could, it'd be, we should do like a really weird reunion where like Hobie still lives at home.
That'd
and he's
be
like a total
funny.
loser and his dad's watching it up and jerking off.
That's not far from the
I
truth.
saw David the other day.
You did?
I was driving down the street
Again?
in Santa Monica. I told you about this?
Yeah, when it was raining out or
Yeah, just
something.
walking, drinking coffee.
What's the deal? Why
Just
is he not on the
random.
show?
On this show, I emailed him. He didn't
I know.
get back to me.
I'm starting to question your
I,
Rolodex.
I'm questioning mine as well.
But you did have Tim Story call you back, and that was pretty dope.
That was pretty
so we got to
cool.
get Tim on.
We got
the
Dave
show.
Sandoval next week. I got my buddy Shervin, who's an alchemist, who's doing some radical stuff with DHA, cracking the code of cellular rejuvenation and some amazing fats and vaping essential oils and doing all this
That's
really
sick.
kind of cool stuff. You're going to dig him. We definitely
Yeah.
got to bring Mitch. Mitch will dig him.
Oh, yeah.
What else? I think we should bring maybe Jeff Bahar in here, talk about some peptides, some of these growth hormones and
Yeah, that'd
insulin growth factors, TB500, BP157, there's the joint stuff, and we got all these crazy.
We got a whole
injectable
lot
aminos.
of-
Let's do a whole month of just health, youth, rejuvenation, wellness.
What about Carmen Electra?
Controversial
you had Carmen
stuff.
Electra
Carmen
online.
Electra's definitely going to come on. We just got to get the right time. Shout out to my homegirl, Carmen.
We'll change up the time. We'll do whatever we got to do to get her in here. You know who I emailed? I don't know if you even know who he is, but I sent out a message for whatever reason. Todd Marinovich.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
he'd
just
be
got
awesome.
on. Oh, he'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And I had
OC
mentioned
boy,
you.
right? Yeah.
Because he's from your neighborhood.
Yeah.
He's in recovery.
Mm-hmm.
He lived that child star life because he was bred from the beginning by his dad, Marv Marinovich, to be a robot, basically. And I want to get behind all that stuff, and I would love to hear from Todd, the reality. I watched the 30-30 on him, and it was just amazing, man. My favorite part of the 30-30 when he was at the Raiders, he was a rookie, and he's over on the sidelines, and the quarterback, whoever the starter was at the time, went out, and the coach looked at him. He's like, "You ready to go in?" He's like, "Hell no, I'm not ready to go in."
Yeah.
Because he had just been, snorting coke all night and just partying his
Yeah, if
brains out.
anybody
man.
hasn't looked into the Todd Marinovich story and his upbringing and how he rose to fame and crashed to check
That
it
guy
out,
was
man.
an
It's
absolute
gnarly. Monster.
beast quarterback,
Freak.
man. Freak of nature. And he's an amazing artist now. So Todd Marinovich, if you happen to see this somehow, or if anyone
on
knows him, man, I
down.
want you on the show, brother, because I'm not a fanboy of your football accolades. I am more of a fan of your life experience. And I had a very similar father who was breeding me to be the world's greatest athlete. My dad's story is he saw my mom. My mom was tall. Her family members are tall. And his whole purpose in marrying my mom was to breed the world's greatest athlete and make me tall.
He came out about 5'2".
5'2".
Jokes on him.
Damn.
That's what you get.
That's messed up, man. I hate when people say I'm that short. I'm 5'8".
I'm only
I'm about to
5'10".
throw that next
Why am I
cuss word
6
in.
inches taller than you if
You
I'm only
ain't 6
5'10"?
inches. You barely.
I wish we had some video of us jumping on the Kaiser machines back in the day. Remember that?
You can't jump as high as me.
I can jump as high, but I didn't have as much power. You generated more power.
I owned people on that Kaiser
Yeah,
machine.
you did.
Everyone that came up, I owned them. Because you know what? I knew the technique. I knew how to make it pow. I knew what to do. But that box jump I did in the gym on Instagram.
I'll kill that right now with no ACO.
Dude, 54 inches on my 54th birthday? Come on. Who does that? You're only 37. That's you don't have to do that. But that's your thing. Every year. So that's what I do for my birthday to get it older. I think I've reached my limit though, 54. I doubt I'm going to get 55 next year.
I refuse to allow you to limit yourself like that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. See, that's why you got great people around you in your life to keep you from talking trash about yourself.
Listen, all we got to do is get you to do that 54, right?
Yeah.
With like 2 pounds on you, and then 3. Yeah. If you can get that 54 with 3 pounds, and then take that 3 pounds off, boom, you'll hit that 55.
I might need some stem cells too, though. My knee's a little bit bothering me.
And maybe if you just fart right at the right time,
jet propulsion,
same time as you jump,
just boom. Matt Harmon joined our Facebook Live here, and he's sitting right in front of us.
Clark's been farting this whole podcast, guys, just so everybody knows.
That's what I do. I keep it real. So
keep it real.
Speaking of keep it real, when I sent you this morning, that was real.
Man, can we? Are you going to get an A? How can you get an A?
I don't know how I can get an A, dude, but that was real life.
You might have to swivel. So, Clark and I have been sending poop is important. We should have a poop expert.
Oh, dude. I feel
show.
like I'm a poop expert.
I mean, not eating it,
right?
But the actual meaning
an actual
it.
somebody that understands the importance of pooping. I speak all over the world, and I always talk about poop, and people are like, I can't believe you.
That I pooped today.
Yeah, I can't believe you said poop. I'm like, well, what do you want me to say? Defecate? That sounds worse, man. That sounds disgusting.
What about evacuated your fecal
matter? The fecal matter sounds gross. You know what I mean? Caca. It's like, come on.
Like poop talk, man. But Clark is actually pooping daily the letters in his name. He sent me a C and an L. And I'm not kidding. It's spot on. It's kind of like a wonder of the world now.
This morning, I was so amazed. I'm like,
I get up 5:45 in the morning. I got a picture of Clark's poop. I'm not kidding.
Give me a C. C.
That's pretty trippy. Pretty trippy.
I got to show Matt here in the studio what we're talking about.
I'm going to show everybody, man.
Oh man!
I mean, I thought it was just
Matt,
it was a funny coincidence on the C, but the L,
okay,
the L was pretty insane.
There was the first.
Give me a C. I'm gonna pom poms.
Okay, give me a C. C. Then this morning, no lie.
It just broke off right in the right place.
Give me an L.
He's
I don't know how I'm gonna pull off an A.
You might have to maneuver. I mean, R. That's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah. Well, you could do the lowercase r. It's similar to the L.
Oh yeah, you could just
flip it over, but it's got to be authentic.
You can't like swivel a little.
I'm gonna figure it out.
What if you did one and it was incomplete and you came back to finish it later?
And it'd be in the toilet all day, and I'll get yelled at by Anita. Flush the toilet. You know
do it in the backyard on the concrete.
Then it's going to lose the consistency. It won't be. It'll be like when you cut
all about the consistency.
Like a ransom note when it's cut out of the newspaper and it's got all the different. That's kind of what it's going to end up looking like. Okay, just cutouts. But anyway.
I believe in you. I think you can do it, man.
So how many people we got?
So we're dedicating the next 4 podcasts to health and wellness, mentorship.
Yeah,
we're gonna open our friends, families, and viewers' eyes to the people who have helped make us who we are today. I think that's kind of a cool thing to do.
It's important. So if you guys are on here listening live on Facebook right now, is that of interest to you?
It gives me something to shoot for.
Yeah, we really do want to bring guests here that are going to add value. And, of course, it's about entertainment, but at the end of the day, we want you to walk away after having invested, 59 minutes of your life. 59, cut it off a second short, like I did my cardio the other day. That really bothered me for a while. Really? Did you see that? I did 29 minutes and 59 seconds and and it bothered me all day. So anyway,
I can't believe you.
Yeah, we want to bring people on. They're going to add value to your life, man, because if you've invested all this time with us, we want you to walk away not being disgusted by poop picture talk, but actual content that's going to enrich your life.
Potentially sending us pictures of your poop.
man.
Get involved.
You know?
We're looking for guests. If you know somebody that's great for our podcast, if
Yeah.
you know somebody that's shaking lives, changing the world, please send them our way. Get involved. Maybe that's you. Maybe you're watching right now and you did something awesome, or you got a dream of doing something awesome. We want to have you on the show.
And we can call in too. You don't have to be here in studio. Although we want people in studio, so because we love asking that question. Are you ready? Are you ready to take your pants off? So it was Serge had no problem.
Serge was awesome, man.
Serge is awesome, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Man, Serge is a great guy.
Great
So
guy.
I knew he wouldn't have an issue at all. So
Rock star.
Yeah.
At heart.
Mitch, though, when you were absent that day, Mitch was like, dude, I feel weird doing this now. And I'm like, what's up, man? Why,
with the
you know,
pants thing?
what shifted? You know, what shifted for you? So, but anyway, what else before we tune this out? Because I'm getting hungry. I want to go to lunch.
Let's go to lunch, man. Actually, I don't have time. I got to go get my MRI, man.
Okay.
Well, we prayed.
We prayed.
We talked about stuff.
Yeah, I think we accomplished a lot here today.
think we
Driving in a bad area and lost the signal. Have to catch the replay.
no.
Great podcast so far, says Keith Bartram. Guys, you know why we're here. You know what we want. And we want nothing more. And the reason we are here is for you. It is for you. And it's, if we can make you laugh, if we can make you think, if we can make you get out of your comfort zone, then today's show was an absolute success. So with all that being said, Jeremy Jackson, I love you, man.
I love you too, brother. And we're just getting started.
We're just getting started.
We're just scratching the surface.
Share this with somebody, you guys. If you know someone that is interested in, hearing this kind of content, share this information with them. Go to iTunes, go to Spotify, tell everybody you know, because we are not playing games here at the Pants Off Podcast. We're here to change your life. We're here to help you think about things you don't want to think about. And I just want to tell you, make it a great day.
Yo, yo. Peace, love.
You're listening to the Pants Off Podcast with Clark Bartram and Jeremy Jackson.
CBTs, performance apparel, where fashion meets performance. Upload your custom design or grab the CBTs Deal of the Week at clarkstees.com. The podcast with CB and JJ is sponsored by Providence Video Productions in Escondido, California, providers of full creative, video, and audio production services. Utilizing state-of-the-art professional equipment for all your broadcast needs. Webpage embedded or live streaming videos and podcasts. Aerial drone videography. Music videos, 3D animation, studio, and field production. Contact us at providencevid.com.